All right, we have a special two-for episode this week. This is the drum that I alluded to a few episodes back. This is a drum that I found in a trash pile in high school. It was going to be thrown out, so I just asked the band director if I could take it. It's a early 60s Slingerland chrome over brass 5x14 shell. It doesn't have a serial number, that's why I assume it's early 60s. It also doesn't have the beads, the 3 seams in the shell, which you'll see in some later versions, which I also have. But this drum was kind of special. It didn't have any hoops, so I just grabbed some triple flange hoops that were also in the bin, whatever tension rods I could find. This is essentially exactly how I rebuilt it in high school. I had to put all I had was a Ludwig throw off, so I just drilled a couple holes and put it in there. What I didn't realize is that it kind of bent the shell out of shape, which means drum heads didn't fit on it too great. Lesson learned. But I used this with my funk band in high school, and it had an incredible pop and a lot of power. And I've used it since then on things that aren't that style, but actually more of a punchy, I'm thinking like AC/DC, Phil Rudd, classic rock, real kind of smacking, punching, hard-hitting meat and potatoes sound. And I just got hired this past week to do a bunch of tracks in the style of the Black Keys. This drum was the perfect drum for the more up-tempo versions of that stuff. So let's check it out first. It's going to be kind of a medium-low tuning, and I'm going to just transition into another one where I just cranked up each rod a quarter turn. So it's kind of like from medium-low to medium. And you'll hear it just really kind of smacks, hits, and gets out of the way. Kind of like no fuss, kind of a snare drum sound. Real powerful. I have a Remo, what is this, Classic Fit Ambassador. So if you have any out of round drums, check out those heads because they're designed to kind of fit on these better. This drum has never tuned up better or sounded better since I got that head on it. I've got a bunch of gel things on it. I also have one of those Remo rings on it because we wanted no overtone, but a lot of smack. So let's check out the sound first. Okay, so that's this early 1960s chrome over brass Slingerland. I think they called it the Sound King, or maybe the Gene Krupa model. I'm not sure. But anyway, awesome drum if you can find them. I haven't been able to find many that have this seamless chrome finish. There's something about it that makes it, to me, sound better than the ones that have the beads in them. I could be wrong. But anyway, let's move on to the other drum. This is also a Slingerland chrome over brass, but this one's from the 70s, and it's 6.5x14. It has the seams in the shell. And they're not seams, they're just lines in the shell. I don't know what that does to the sound. It's from the mid-70s, 76, 77, something like that. I can know that because of the way the badge and the serial numbers lined up. I did a little research. I bought this from a guy on Craigslist who had a full kit. It was my first vintage drum purchase. The full kit had 13, 14, 15, 16, 18-inch toms and a huge 24-inch bass drum. Ended up selling off all of that, replacing it with some other things, but this drum remained because it's a special drum. Super fat and punchy and meaty, but not a lot of overtones. So again, it's like meat and potatoes. So if the 5x14 that you just heard is my up-tempo meat and potatoes, Phil Rudd, hit, powerful, get out of the way sound, this is the slower tempo. You need the snare drum takes up a little bit more sound, a little bit bigger, more robust, but still kind of punchy, deliberate and direct. For whatever reason, I think of like 70s rock, Carmine Appice, that type of a sound. I replaced the hoops that were on it, which were die cast, which weren't original, with these straight stainless steel Angel hoops that kind of opened it up a little bit more. Everything else is pretty much original throw. I'm using a vintage Emperor head, pure sound wires. It does have the internal muffler engaged. I also put 3 gels on it. Again, I'm looking for a no overtone, black keys, vintage, powerful, smacky type sound. So let's hear this drum. It's tuned kind of medium low, similar to where the 5x14 started. And you'll hear there's a huge difference. Similar, but different. All right, that's it. Thanks for checking it out. Again, these drums are awesome. Vintage, Slingerland, chrome over brass. They're not too expensive, so you can find any. Grab them up. They're all great. If you can find one without the lines in the shell, definitely grab it. But they're all pretty awesome. Anyway, thanks for checking it out, and I'll see you next time.